2026 medical entry. A massive paper leak voided that. Every year, 2.3 million students walk into examination halls across India, staking their entire future on a single test. For the 2026 medical entrance cycle, a massive paper leak voided that effort, erasing years of preparation in an instant. The CBI found the breach originated behind the secure doors of the testing agency itself, coordinated by the experts hired to protect the papers. This investigation exposed a systemic betrayal that transformed a merit-based examination into a deadly marketplace for the highest bidder. The competition is driven by brutal mathematics. Over 2 million candidates fight for approximately 130,000 heavily subsidized seats in government medical colleges. Families routinely sell ancestral land or exhaust their life savings to afford private coaching fees that often exceed 500,000 rupees. 21-year-old Pradeep Kumar spent years in these centers, funded by his father's labor. After the exam, his score was high enough to secure a seat at a top government college. Then the NTA canceled the results. The cancellation triggered a wave of student suicides among high scorers, like Pradeep, whose families had no remaining resources to support a second attempt. When the security of the exam failed, it cost vulnerable families their wealth and, in several cases, their children. Question papers were circulated on Telegram and WhatsApp hours before the exam started, selling for up to 50 lakh rupees. This breakdown followed an identical failure in 2024, when a leak was traced back to a school in Hazaribagh. The 2024 exam saw a mathematically impossible 67 students achieve perfect scores, leading to a national dispute over compensatory grace marks. Ignoring those early red flags allowed the same patterns of corruption to scale into the national catastrophe of 2026. A 20,000-page charge sheet from the CBI eventually detailed how the 2026 Syndicate operated from within the system. The agency identified 3 National Testing Agency subject experts, specialists in physics, chemistry, and botany, as the primary sources of the leaked papers. These insiders passed the questions to a network of coaching operators and regional brokers, allegedly spearheaded by a mastermind named Sanjeev Mukhya. Candidates were offered leaked questions alongside offline revision classes conducted by the experts themselves, with crores of rupees flowing back to the conspirators. The testing agency was actively employing the individuals who dismantled the security of its most important examination. In response, students formed the Cockroach Janta Party, a movement that used the insect as a symbol of resistance against a rotting administrative system. Thousands of students marched on Jantar Mantar, demanding the immediate resignation of the Union Education Minister. High-profile activists like Sonam Wangchuk joined the site, launching an indefinite hunger strike that forced the government to acknowledge the systemic collapse. The state utilized tear gas and lathi charges to suppress the demonstrations, but the unrest only spread to other major cities. The students viewed the regulatory bodies as completely compromised, turning civil disobedience into their primary mechanism for seeking accountability. Under national pressure, Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan resigned, and Sanjeev Mukhya was arrested by the Economic Offences Unit in Patna. In the wake of the protests, Parliament passed the 2026 Public Examinations Amendment Act to address the loopholes in the original law. The new law introduced mandatory 10-year prison sentences for organized crime, 10 crore rupee fines, and the creation of specialized fast-track courts for exam fraud. This rapid legislative response illustrates how the sustained pressure from the youth movement forced the government to rebuild its entire legal approach to academic integrity. While the laws have changed, no amendment or fast-track court can bring back the students who took their own lives during the controversy. With the rewards for cheating still measured in the billions, there is a constant risk that the paper leak mafia will simply develop more sophisticated digital drive-based methods to exploit the system. As long as 2.3 million students are competing for an incredibly narrow bottleneck of seats, the temptation for corruption remains a permanent fixture of the landscape. India has strengthened its legal deterrence, but the brutal math of extreme scarcity means the war for merit is far from over.